Hi, my name is Nishant Mittal, and this is the 14th episode of I Read This Book. I can't believe I'm doing this alone, but Sarthak and I can't sit close to each other anymore. Thank God for China and its beautiful gift to the world, we're all trapped. But the show must go on, I've heard. So here I am trying to pull this off alone. I hope you like it. In this episode, I'm going to be discussing a book called How I Almost Blew It by Siddharth Rao. How I Almost Blew It is a collection of 17 interesting stories of Indian entrepreneurs from the internet age. Notice that I said interesting stories, not success stories. You see, it's beyond stupid to only read success stories. Your head gets filled up with survivorship bias, you start to feel invincible. It's a recipe for disaster. You won't find a lot of experienced entrepreneurs falling for that kind of trap. They avoid it at all costs. Why? Because they've been through it. Most of them have been humbled by failures or have survived by dumb luck at some point in their life. They've been through it. Thankfully, Siddharth Rao has been through it as well. He's an experienced, seasoned entrepreneur with a great history of work. And that's what starts making this book very nice. This is not a free-flowing conversation like our earlier episodes, so I'm going to design it like in a good, bad, and ugly way. Without further ado, the good. What's good about this book is the content. And I don't mean writing. Writing can turn things around, It can turn an average story into something really nice and interesting, or a very nice story into something very average and avoidable. I'm not talking about writing at all. I'm talking about the fundamental storylining. The book is called How I Almost Blew It. It talks about near-death experiences of great entrepreneurs. This is different. It's not the usual hero worshipping thing. It's something which is very honest, unmerciful, real, unfiltered, uncensored. It's an extremely accurate portrayal of an entrepreneurial struggle. It's one of the books which talk about luck in a very respectful way, which makes you want to respect the book. Because not a lot of books which are trying to teach people entrepreneurship tell you about luck. But if you're a real entrepreneur, you know the value of chance outcomes in your life. Thankfully, this book talks very sweetly about those things. In every story, it highlights the importance of chance outcomes. I love that. That's the great part of this book. Even though short stories and collection of short stories are easier to write than like a full-blown narration kind of books, like Golden Tap, which is one of my favorites. This book is really nicely written and it aces all the books in comparison, all its contemporaries, which are written like that. That's very nice. What's bad about this book, in my opinion, is that it fails to mention Just Dial. Just Dial, in my opinion, is one of the great Indian companies. It survived and thrived the 90s, it's still growing. It's cash rich. It's profitable. It's a great company. I would have loved to read about Mr. Money in this book, but it's fair that Siddharth Rao couldn't reach Mr. Money. Not everybody could be reached in every book. Maybe the next time he does it. What's ugly about this book is nothing. It's beautiful. It's extremely essential for all Indian aspiring entrepreneurs or people who like reading about entrepreneurs. It's one of the best books in the biz that you can read as far as the Indian literature is concerned, non-fiction. It's just that the delivery boy screwed my copy. It's a little torn, that's all. I hope you like this video. This brings me to the end of it. If you liked it, let me know in comments. Don't message me. Just kidding. Thank you. See you again.